Hello, hello. It's Quinta Weather Fashion Doll. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here to talk about fashion, but we're not doing a review. We're going to do some fashion history. I have been wanting to do a video on some black designers in history since the summertime when I found this book, A Stitch in Time. I just never got around to it. And I was like, what better time to talk about black designers than in Black History Month? But I'm a person that's always talking about black people and promoting what we are doing. All 12 months, honey, 365, okay? No, it's a leap year, so is it 366 this year? Um, but yes, honey. So I said, let's talk about use this as a jumping off point to talk about black people in design in general. So this is going to be a new series on my channel, and I'm gonna create a playlist. But I'm not just gonna limit it to fashion. I'm gonna do black people in design in general, because there are people that work in home design and just various things. And the more I've been doing research, we are just involved in so many things that you wouldn't even think of. But I found this book at I think it was a book, like a book festival, like a book street fest. And I thought this was so cute. I like the name, like the play on words. And then it talked about a few designers. And I wasn't familiar with, I think, any of them. And it's illustrated really cute. And this book is by Sunbird Books. And it's written by Lauren Burke and illustrated by Katie Crumpton. But I just thought this was cute. It mentions, hold on, I put them in my number. It talks about Elizabeth Keckley, Anne Cole Lowe, Zelda Wynne Valdez, Mildred Blount, and then Fanny Chris. But today I'm just going to talk about Elizabeth Keckley. If you haven't heard me say it in another video, I am a designer. I've always been an artist, like traditional artist, painting, drawing. I went to school for graphic design, and then I'm learning how to sew on my own. So I definitely appreciate fashion, and I always love learning the history of, how fashion, how it started, or how people started their careers. And when I was younger, I went into graphic design, but I remember looking up like Dolce and Gabbana's history, and I believe the two men, there used to be a couple. Either both of them were graphic designers or one of them was. And it's just a lot of people that work in design that kind of have multiple disciplines. But I never knew black designers. So when I saw this is perfect. If you look the book up if you would like to get it for a child or just someone in your life. But I think we black kids need to see more black people in uh, jobs and occupations that they didn't think of, if that makes sense. Because sometimes when you don't know something, you don't know you want to be it. If that makes sense. But I'm just gonna give you a little information about Miss Elizabeth Keckley. And as I'm talking, I'm going to put some photos on the screen. And I'm not going to make this too long, but yes, I just want to introduce y'all to this series and introduce y'all to Miss Elizabeth Keckley. I'm reading from an article on the Smithsonian Magazine. It was by Emily Spivak. So I'm going to read some pieces from her article. Elizabeth Keckley was born into slavery in 1818 in Virginia. Although she encountered one hardship after another with sheer determination, a network of supporters, and valuable dressmaking skills, she eventually bought her freedom from her St. Louis owners for $1,200. She made her way to Washington, D.C. in 1860 to establish her own dressmaking business and met First Lady Mary Todd Lincoln. Now, she didn't add this part, but her father was a colonel or something. She was mixed because her father was a white man And I think I read in another article, like he didn't claim her, I don't believe. And I've also read in one of the articles that she was known for her beauty. So I'm of the belief. Now the pictures are all in black and white, but she probably, because she was a mixed lady, that probably helped her to navigate in these spaces or get in some of these rooms, if that makes sense. But no shade to her, but just for some context. It says just after Abraham Lincoln's inauguration in 1861, the FLOTUS hired Keckley as her personal modist. Keckley took on the role of dressmaker, personal dresser, and confidant, and the two women formed a special bond. Mary T. and Lizzie K., a new play written and directed by Tazewell Thompson, explores their relationship. To look that up. Much has been researched, written, and analyzed about Keckley's life as a result of the unusual friendship. In 1868, Keckley published a detailed account of her life in the autobiography Behind the Scenes, or 30 Years a Slave and 4 Years in the White House. They should make that a movie. A thorough study of her dressmaking legacy is still being uncovered, though, explained Elizabeth Way, a former Smithsonian researcher and New York University costume studies graduate student who worked for the Smithsonian last summer researching Keckley. So, if you want to see some of her pieces today, the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History has a Mary Lincoln gown, a purple velvet dress with two bodices, and the First Lady wore during the second presidential inauguration. There's a buffalo plaid green and white day dress with a cape at the Chicago History Museum, at the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum in Illinois. You'll find a black silk dress with a strawberry motif that you wear to a strawberry party, which was a 19th century Midwestern picnic tradition. I didn't know that. But it's disputed as to whether or not it's a Keckley. And then Penn State has a quilt that Keckley made from dress fabrics and other items floating around in collections. For example, Harvard University has a pin cushion with her name on it. And when I looked up the dress that's here in Chicago, I don't know if it's still at that museum. I need to look into that more because I actually want to see the dress if it is at the museum. Okay, so Keckley's style was very pared down and sophisticated, which a lot of people don't imagine when they think of the Victorian era. Her designs tended to be streamlined, not a lot of lace or ribbon, and very clean design. When she started out, she would do the complete dress, sew it up, add the trim, everything. As she became more successful, she was able to hire seamstresses to do some of the sewing, and she trained people to help with the construction. Generally, she would work on the fit of the dresses. Okay, sounds like a similar process to how the designers work now. That makes sense. In her memoir, she recalls that people thought she was beautiful. The Washington Bee, the African American newspaper, treated her like a black socialite within the African American community. She dressed well. She was not gaudy or showy, but more pared down and refined. She was known for being elegant, upright, come on, upright, and appropriate, the Victorian ideal. Okay. It would take Keckley maybe 2 to 3 weeks to complete a dress, to drape the fabric, cut the fabric using a sewing machine on some parts and hand stitch others. Also, remember she was making multiple dresses at a time, and by the time she was a successful dressmaker in Washington, she also had seamstresses working with her. Okay. And then just for pay wise, it says when Keckley first moved to DC and worked as a seamstress for a dressmaker, she made $250 a day. She recalls in her memoir that when she became a dressmaker, she made a dress for Anna Mason Lee, who was attending a reception for the Prince of Wales in 1860, which was a very high society event in D.C. Captain Lee gave Keckley $100 to purchase lace and trims for his wife's dress. So while that doesn't quite speak to how much she was earning, it does put things in perspective and speak to the level of cost and timeline of moving from a seamstress to a dressmaker. Okay. In fact, when she bought the trim from Harper Mitchell, the trim store, for Lee's dress, the shop gave her a $25 commission for the purchase. That $25 was already 10 times what she was making as a seamstress when she first came to Washington. Working as a dressmaker was the highest paying opportunity women had during that time period. Okay. And Keckley's dresses were known to be very expensive, the envy of women in Washington. Yes, and that's the end of this article. Yes, that is Miss Elizabeth Keckley. My favorite piece that I've seen from her um, gowns is definitely the plaid dress. I like that. I like that it's kind of casual, but it's like still like a big ball gown or just a big dress. I don't know if it's supposed to be a ball gown, but it has the cape too. I think that's stunning and very Midwestern. But yes, please look up Elizabeth if you would like to learn more about her. I just wanted to introduce y'all in case you never heard her name. Um, I'm not gonna say who I'm doing next, but I would like to do these videos on Fridays and make it a Fashion Friday thing. But I wanted to get this out before February was over. But I hope you enjoy. Please comment. Um, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers. Please comment what you thought. Thank you to my new subscribers because I've just gotten a few from Dr. Heavenly. Thank you, Dr. Heavenly. Please watch my fashion reviews. I have a few from the housewives of various cities. And again, the book, A Stitch in Time. Thank you, thank you. And I will see y'all soon. Happy Black History Month. And I have on Ivy Park, a black designer by Beyonce.